How's everyone doing? I recently got a package in the mail. It's a trade I did on here with another user, Turkey Sandwich 11. Right now they just have guitar covers and things like that on their YouTube channel. You should check it out if you're into guitar covers, but they're also going to be doing Blu-ray DVD updates and things like that as well. Sending him a package, and once he gets the package, he said that'll be his first Blu-ray DVD update, so that'll be pretty cool. And he's always been really nice and supportive as well. I've talked to him a bunch on here, so it's pretty cool to do these trades like this. And recently I did a video saying, you know, a few things I have for trade, some of the ones from Blockbuster and things like that. And he said, yeah, he was interested. And he sent me a note right there. I will cover your last name just in case you don't want your last name, but there's the note. You know, it's a long note. I'm not going to read it out loud, but I have read this note. And I really appreciate, again, the kindness. And you sent me something extra, which you totally didn't have to do. I like this considering your obsession with horror. We've probably already seen it, probably own it. I'll talk about that in a second, actually, this certain one in here. You said maybe use as a trade product. Well, we'll see. Hold on, I'll get to that. I hope to do more trading in the future. Me as well. Again, I enjoy communicating, talking to you as well. I love your videos, thank you, I really appreciate that. And I like this one part here is what I wanted to mention. He was writing his last name, and I guess he messed up a little bit. He said, yep, I literally started spelling my last name wrong. I think that's hilarious. I actually like these notes, these personal notes like that as well. Oh, did I just put the tape? Alright, I was worried the tape was going to mess up there. But a lot of times I keep these notes. Like I recently, when I was moving and stuff, I found notes from like years ago that I did trades with people on here, so it's pretty cool. And I'm going to keep this note. Thank you very much, Dan. I appreciate that. And again, check out his channel. Like I said, he'll be doing new Blu-ray and DVD updates coming up soon. And as of right now, he's still a commenter and active member in the movie community on here. And he's been on here for a while talking, and he does guitar covers and stuff like that. And you should check out his guitar covers. It's pretty good. If you've seen any of these movies, definitely let me know what you think of them as well. But the trade was, he sent me 2 movies that were part of the trade, and then he sent me something extra. First up was The Shining on Blu-ray. Now, I don't have this. I was actually waiting because I was thinking they have to put out like a special edition or something like this. And so I was just kind of waiting because I figured, you know what, so many times I've double-dipped, triple-dipped on different movies where they put out special editions and certain ones. They're doing, there's apparently another Halloween special edition coming out. There's another Exorcist special edition coming out. It's just so many different ones that I've repurchased. So I was just trying to hold off. I was like, The Shining is an all-time classic. It's got to have a special edition. But so far, I don't know if there's one coming on the horizon. And I decided, you know what? He said he had this for trade. I'm like, heck yeah, you know what? I don't have it. It's time to stop putting off getting this in my Blu-ray collection. So yeah, right there. It's a classic. It's actually one of my all-time favorite movies. This one creeped me the heck out when I was a kid. I still find it very creepy and unnerving, the overlook right there. And I like the disc artwork as well. I think that's pretty cool. It's not just the title sequence, which the title right there. So I appreciate that. It's something unique. And I think everybody knows this film. And again, if you know me, you know I love movies set with a snowy setting, which it had part of that as well, especially that end, the chase sequence. Very cool. Just so many creepy, atmospheric moments in here. Memorable scenes. Oh, just everything about this is just a trip, really. I love this one, and it's an all-time classic. One of my all-time favorite movies as well. And next up is Dead Snow. Again, snowy setting, love it. I thought this was hilarious. I love the humor in this. I love the gore effects. It's killer zombie Nazis. How can you go wrong there? I mean, come on. It's awesome. And it's a Norwegian film, so there are subtitles. But again, so many horror films from the past, like, 15 years or so, the best ones have been foreign. So, I mean, you have to adapt. A lot of people don't like to read the subtitles. It's really not that difficult. And the more movies you watch with subtitles, the easier it gets. It just becomes really easy to take in. So if you just, just push yourself the first couple times, and then from there on out, it'll be easy. And plus, you're missing out on a lot of fantastic movies, not just horror-wise, but just every genre. International film market has just been killing it as far as original ideas, and all we seem to do over here in the US market is just take those original ideas from other countries and just remake them with American actors. And most of the time they pale in comparison, or if they are, there's a good one like Let the Right One In, the remake Let Me In. That was actually a pretty good movie, pretty good remake, but it was unnecessary. The original is still better, but I'm not going to write it off completely, the remake. It was good, but unnecessary. I felt the same thing about Quarantine. I liked Quarantine. You know, if you're going to watch the Quarantine one, you should at least watch the original Rec. But Rec 2 was amazing. I personally prefer that over Rec 1. But again, Quarantine was unnecessary. I thought it was a good remake, but I thought it was unnecessary. But Rec 2, if you haven't seen Rec 2, go see it. And you can just skip Quarantine 2, in my opinion. It wasn't a remake of Rec 2. It was a completely different idea, and I didn't care for it at all, personally. But Rec 2, go watch that. I went off on a tangent right there, but Dead Snow, awesome, snowy setting, you know, group of friends in a cabin, lots of goofiness and great humor. I love the humor here. Great gore effects, and again, killer zombie Nazis. How can you go wrong right there? And I didn't have this on a Blu-ray. I have it a DVD steelbook, which I believe is a Canadian one, and that was really cool. It's actually one of my favorite looking DVD steelbooks. I love the design of it. But there you go. And then next up is what he sent me as, I don't know, he just wanted to send me something extra, which, you know, I've seen this movie. I only saw it for the first time probably about 4 years ago. And this is a movie I've heard so many people rave about, so creepy, this and that. Now, I'm going to say I didn't see like the first 20 minutes of it. I think I came in 20 minutes in, and I watched it from there on out. And I'll be honest, I didn't really think this movie was scary. Maybe it's just because I saw it for the first time when I was older. Maybe if I saw it when I was younger, I'd be more freaked out. But I don't remember there being a lot of scary moments in it. The clown, Pennywise, I didn't really find him to be overly scary or anything like that. One of the scarier clown scenes that I can remember, Killer Clowns from Outer Space freaked me out when I was a kid. Let me just throw that out there. But the movie Amusement, that's a kind of one, I'm not sure how many years ago, maybe 5-6 years ago it came out. But there's a clown scene in that movie that was creepy as heck. For me, personally, one of the creepier clown scenes ever. And it doesn't get enough credit. The movie overall is just okay. There's so many things that I have issues with that, especially the ending. I have faults there, but that movie had a lot of potential, and there's a lot of definitely creepy moments and a lot of aspects I did like about it, and that clown scene, awesome. It's worth checking out just for the clown scene. But this one right here, I was, you know, I guess there's just so much hype around it that I was just kind of a little bit disappointed. Great cast though, Tim Curry's an amazing actor. He doesn't get enough credit. Let's see, who else was in here? John Ritter, which is really cool to see him, you know, may he rest in peace. Harry Anderson, Annette O'Toole, just a bunch of recognizable faces. And is that Kevin? No, it's not Kevin Kline. I can't remember that guy's name though. Maybe that's Richard Mauser, I think. Yeah, Richard Thomas. Yeah, so that's pretty cool. I did like the cast, and there was some good atmosphere from what I remember. But I am going to revisit this one and watch it from the beginning to the end. I remember thinking it was a little bit long. The pacing wasn't working well for me. But again, I'm going to give it another fair chance. I'm going to give it one more full from the beginning to end and see if it affects me a little bit better this time around. Because a lot of movies, when I initially watched them, I wasn't a big fan of, but then after a rewatch, I ended up loving them, or there's the opposite end of that, I ended up hating it even more. But there was one recently, Session 9. I remember the first time I watched Session 9, I was like, what is it, all this hype about this? This movie isn't that great. And then I watched it again, and I freaking loved it. And it's funny, because I remember I got the DVD, and I watched it the first time. I think I ended up selling it. And then I ended up watching it again, and I liked it the second time around. I sold it the first time because I didn't like it. And then when I watched it the second time around, I was like, I ended up loving it, so I had to rebuy it. I could have just kept the original time that I had it. So I'm trying to give movies a fair chance. A lot of movies when I was younger I loved, and I'm rewatching them now. I'm like, they just don't live up to the memory of it. And yeah, so maybe, you know, it was just one of those things for this one. If I would have watched it when I was younger, it would have creeped me out more. But again, I'm going to rewatch it. Looks like a flipper disc. But I'm sure everybody loves this movie. I've heard tons of people rave about it, and there's some good special features in here too. Feature-length audio commentary with Dennis Christopher, Tim Reed, John Ritter, Richard Thomas, and director Tommy Lee Wallace. I do enjoy Tommy Lee Wallace as a director. Of course, Halloween 3. I personally love that one, Season of the Witch. It gets crapped on all the time, but think of it as a standalone movie. I know it's got the Halloween title in there, but if you think of it as a standalone movie, it's one of the greatest Halloween-themed movies out there, in my opinion. Absolutely love it. A classic. And of course, this is adapted from Stephen King's bestseller, 1986, right there. And Tommy Lee Wallace also did Fright Night 2. He's done a bunch of other things as well. I really enjoy Fright Night 2. The original Fright Night is an all-time classic, an all-time favorite vampire film of mine. And Fright Night 2 is just like, right there. It's just so close. Fright Night 2 has way more camp appeal, in my opinion. And I think that's getting a Blu-ray release coming up soon. And I waited too long to pick up the first Fright Night Blu-ray. It sold out like right away. I was thinking it was like, I don't know, $35 or something like that from Twilight Time, or I think it was Twilight Time that released it, and it was only limited to like 3,000 copies, I believe. And I was like, $35, no special features for, you know, a title I do love, but I just think, you know, it would later down the line somebody's gonna release it. And I waited, and now people jack up the prices. People are selling them on like eBay for like 90 bucks and stuff like that, 100 bucks. And I regret not getting that sooner. And yeah, I'm hoping another studio will pick it up and re-release it. I mean, you saw how well it did. It sold out right away. I mean, it just makes sense to re-release it and actually give it some special features. Come on. But I'm pretty sure Fright Night 2 is getting a Blu-ray release coming up soon. So I'm definitely looking forward to that, and I plan to pick that one up and not wait. I've learned my lesson right there. So thank you very much, Dan. I appreciate that. Very cool trade. I hope you like what I sent you as well, and I'm looking forward to your video. Again, I'll put his link down below. Turkey Sandwich 11. Check him out. Welcome to the movie community on here. He comments and stuff like that, but he'll be doing his first video coming up soon. And right now he has a bunch of guitar covers and things like that, which he's very talented at as well. So definitely go show him some love. And if anybody's seen any of these movies, definitely let me know what you think of them. Leave me a comment or video response down below. Hope everyone's doing well. Take care.